Hey guys, Brad Danger here, and somewhere out there right now, a guy who has never pumped his own gas in his entire life just spent $30 million on a car. Not a jet, not an island, not a small European country, a car. Four wheels, a horn he will probably never personally touch, and a top speed he will never personally reach because someone else drives it for him. Today, we are counting down the 10 most expensive cars in the world this year, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you are going to feel poor in a way that you did not know was possible. So, get uncomfortable, put down whatever gas station snack you are currently eating, and let's ruin this week together. Like, subscribe so we hit 2 mil, and before we start, a quick reality check for everyone watching this on a cracked phone screen in a parking lot on their lunch break. None of these cars are free. They are for people who buy houses the way you buy socks. And somehow this is exactly why we are all here, because watching absurd wealth do absurd things is basically a national pastime at this point. And look, I get the comments before you even type them. You are going to say these prices are made up and nobody actually pays this, that it is just all marketing for rich people to feel special. And well, you are kind of right. This is exactly what it is. It is marketing for rich people to feel special, and it is working incredibly well because we are all sitting here about to spend the next 10 minutes talking about it for free. Congratulations to Rolls-Royce on the greatest advertising campaign of all time, which is simply existing and letting car channels do the rest. One more thing before the countdown starts. A lot of these cars do not have an official sticker price because when you're buying something this expensive, you do not get an invoice, you get a phone call and a very polite negotiation. So every number in this video is a reported estimate gathered from auction houses, dealers, and people who are much closer to this kind of money than either of us will ever be. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Hey guys, real quick, the giveaway for the Shelby and Supra and the $100,000 has ended, and well, the winners are being picked right now, but we're coming back bigger and badder and better. So click the link in the pinned first comment because like Rocky, who won the GTR, like Greg, who won the 100K, you can sign up to be notified and get 100 free entries once it goes live. So click the link down below, go put in your email, and I can't wait to show you what we have cooking. All right, back to the show. Number 10, the Aston Martin Valour. This thing takes the bones of the Valkyrie hypercar, the carbon fiber monocoque, the naturally aspirated V12, and wraps it in a body that looks like it got dressed for a funeral and decided to make it fashion. 6.5 liters, over 800 horsepower, paired with a manual gearbox that Aston built specifically because rich people got bored of paddle shifters. Let that sink in. Somewhere, a millionaire looked at this car that shifts perfectly on its own and said, nah, I would actually like to mess this up myself sometimes. Respect the chaos. This is the automotive version of the guy with a private chef who still insists on making his own toast. Number 9, the McLaren W1, twin turbo V8, battery assist, over 1,200 horses, 0 to 60 in under 3, and a price tag that starts around $2 million, which in hypercar terms is basically the clearance rack. This is the car for buyers who looked at a Bugatti on this list and said, I would like something slightly more reasonable, please. Still keeping the receipt just in case anyone ever asks why they own a car that costs more than most people's houses. And somewhere out there, someone is going to daily drive this thing to a coffee shop, park it next to a Camry, and act like it's completely normal behavior. Number 8, the SP Automotive Chaos. You've probably never heard of this brand, and that is sort of the point. Small builder, massive ambition, and a claimed 3,000 horsepower, which is not a typo, and also not a number that means anything to the human brain anymore. At a certain price point, horsepower numbers stop being useful information and start being a personality disorder. Nobody needs 3,000 horsepower, but somebody is going to buy this car specifically because the number is stupid, and honestly, that tracks. Think of it for a second. 3,000 horsepower on a public road next to a minivan, school bus, and a guy texting at red lights. There is no version of that scenario that ends up with the car being driven the way it was designed to be driven. This thing will spend its entire existence going 0 to 60 in a straight line exactly twice at a private track in front of an audience of exactly 1, and then going back in the trailer. That's the whole life cycle. Built for war, used for a driveway photo shoot. Number 7, the Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita. This one is famous for its diamond weave carbon fiber body, which sounds made up, but is very real and very expensive to produce because apparently regular carbon fiber was too easy to make. Around $5 million, extremely limited production, and a name most people cannot pronounce correctly on the first try. Myself included. This car exists purely to prove that Sweden can make something more extra than IKEA furniture with missing screws. And somehow it still comes with fewer usable cup holders than the Camry we made fun of 2 minutes ago. Number 6, the Bugatti Centodieci. Around $9 million bucks, styled as a tribute to the old, incredible Bugatti EB110, and built in a production run so small that owning one is basically a members-only club with a very expensive entry fee. Quad-turbo W16, absurd top speed, and a design that looks like it was sculpted by someone who has personally offended by straight lines. This is what happens when an engineering team gets unlimited budget and zero adult supervision, and honestly, the results, they speak for themselves. Because nothing about this car looks like it was approved by a single accountant at any point in the process. Number 5, the Rolls-Royce Sweptail. Back in 2017, this thing set the record as the most expensive new car ever built at around $13 million, commissioned by a single buyer who apparently looked at every Rolls-Royce in existence and said none of these are quite embarrassing enough for me personally. Hand-built 101 with a roof so complicated it probably has its own engineering degree. It was dethroned twice since then, but it started the whole arms race of billionaires trying to out-weird each other with coach-built Rolls-Royces, so it deserves its flowers. Think of the Sweptail as the car that ruined it for everybody else on this list. Before this thing existed, being rich just meant a nice Rolls-Royce off the standard order sheet. After this thing existed, a nice Rolls-Royce off the standard order sheet became an insult. Now the entire billionaire class is stuck in an unofficial contest to see who can commission the weirdest one-off before their friends do. And honestly, watching that contest play out from a distance is one of the most entertaining side effects of extreme wealth inequality, and I'm here for it. Number 4, the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta, around $17.5 million and the most expensive Pagani ever built, which is genuinely impressive when you remember Paganis already cost more than most people's entire family tree combined. Open top, screaming naturally aspirated V12, and enough hand finish detailing to make a Swiss watchmaker feel personally inadequate. This is the car equivalent of ordering the most expensive item on the menu just to see if the waiter's face changes. Number 3, the Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Almost 19 million bucks, one single unit, built as a tribute to the legendary lost Bugatti from the 1930s that vanished during World War II and has never been found. So, somewhere out there, a car worth an absolute fortune is still missing, and Bugatti's solution was simply to build a $19 million car and replace it and call it even. If you lose your car keys, that is a bad day. If Bugatti loses an entire car, apparently the solution is just building another one for the price of a private airport. Number 2, the Rolls-Royce Boat Tail. $28 million, one of only 3 ever built, and reportedly commissioned with features like a custom sound system, a built-in picnic set, and enough personalization options to make NASA control room look understaffed. This car does not just have cup holders, it has an entire hosting suite built into the trunk for outdoor entertaining because apparently regular tailgating was beneath somebody's dignity. 28 million bucks for a car that is a partial rolling charcuterie board is a choice, and I respect the commitment to the bit. Somewhere there is a guy who owns this car and has genuinely used the built-in picnic set. Not once, not as a joke for a magazine shoot, but actually pulled up to a field somewhere and set up a $28 million charcuterie station like it was a completely reasonable Tuesday. Meanwhile, the rest of us are out here eating gas station sushi in a car that still has the check engine light on from 2 owners ago. We are not the same, and honestly, I think I'm kind of okay with that. And number 1. Obviously, the Rolls-Royce La Voiture Noire Droptail. 30 million bucks, only 4 units on the entire planet, and a design inspired by a rare black rose, with over 1,600 individual micro veneer panels hand-fitted into the interior. 1,600 pieces of wood, hand-placed for a car that will probably spend most of its life parked in a climate-controlled garage being looked at rather than driven. This is currently the most expensive new car in the world, and it is not particularly fast, it is not particularly aggressive, it is just unbelievably aggressively expensive, which is honestly might be the most Rolls-Royce achievement possible. So there you have it, 10 cars over $150 million combined, and not a single one of them will ever see a school pickup line, a Costco parking lot, or a pothole on a normal street, because that is not the point. The point was never transportation. The point was showing everyone else on the planet that you technically could buy this thing. And honestly, watching it happen from the outside is a lot more fun than owning any of it, because we get to make fun of it for free, and they have to actually insure it, register it, and explain to their accountant why the wood paneling alone costs more than a house. And here's the part that actually got me. Every single one of these cars will spend 99% of its time just sitting in a climate-controlled garage, covered untouched, appreciating in value while doing absolutely nothing, which is honestly the closest thing to my own personal financial strategy that I've ever related to on this channel. The difference is my strategy involves savings account, and theirs involves 1,600 hand-fitted wood panels. So if you made it this far without needing a nap, hit the subscribe button because we're trying to get to 2 mil by the end of the year, and we're dropping new videos every week. Also, drop me a comment, which one of these would you love to have in your driveway if I just magically teleported it over there? I'd love to see your answers. Check out some of these ideal vids. I'm Brad Danger, this is Ideal, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.